What follows next though is a little worrying, because our friend puts his Crocs into sport mode. One chap here definitely lost his cool. Let's see what happened in this week's reality check. As is always the case, we start in the middle of things here, and this is a barnstormer. This guy is clearly getting the short end of the stick with this. The guy's angry and aggrieved, he's shaking around, he's ragdolling him, and he doesn't look in any position to defend himself. When you take someone out of a comfort zone and you put them in an OODA loop, it's really, really easy to then get them confused, discombobulated, and close that action. Whether that's because you've engaged higher brain function, or whether that's because you just swamped them and they don't know how to respond to it. Again, in this instance, we don't know exactly what led to this, but we do know that he doesn't look in any position to respond as he's getting shook, ragdolled, and moved around the spot. What follows next, though, is a little worrying, because our friend puts his Crocs into sport mode, and he decides that he's going to go for disqualification under the old NWA wrestling rules and throw a guy over the top rope. And boy, does he. Holy hell. He just takes that guy and flings him over the rails into the drink. Now, once we get over the slightly comedic effect of someone being thrown off the end of a pier, this is really dangerous, because down there under piers, you get rocks, you get waves, you get all manner of stuff which really isn't designed to make full contact with a human body dropping from a great height. This could have been one of those situations where he was looking at a murder beef, because I'll be honest, if this had been 300 foot up, the guy probably would have flung him over the rail as well. He was that angry and that aggrieved. I don't know what made him go this mad, but I'm pretty sure there was a lot of things that he could have chosen to do which didn't involve flinging the guy over the rail and potentially risking danger to his life. This is one of those interesting dichotomies though, because let's assume this guy did something really bad. Hit the guy's girlfriend, spat on her, did something like that. The measure of response cannot exceed what is necessary in the circumstances just because it's colored with a very personal value choice. You'll hear me talk about moral, ethical, and legal, and how they're not all the same thing, they're not always equally important, and you must make correlating judgments based on your position to each of those. Sometimes you'll do something illegal because you think it's ethical and moral. Sometimes you'll do something moral because you think that the ethics and the legality of society shouldn't breach your own personal boundaries. This is fine, but I can't think of many moral, ethical, or legal cases where flinging someone off a platform into the sea was ever going to be a good choice, no matter what led up to this. The only time I'd be doing that is if someone's swinging a knife around, trying to kill everybody, and that's the way I can take him out of the equation and keep everybody safe. Outside of that, don't be doing it. Don't be taking those punitive measures. But how many times do we metaphorically throw people over the pier in our day-to-day encounters? The way we talk to them, the way we act with them. Even when people are apologizing. Someone does something wrong, they cut you up in traffic, you question their parentage when you're actually shouting out the window, and they wave a hand and they say sorry. How often do you then see people continue to berate them for it? Or if you bump into someone and they say, I'm really, really sorry, you'll often hear, yeah, you'd better be. These sort of interactions are very, very common because it speaks to a lot of that bruised ego state that we find ourselves in so often. We don't often want to be right. We want to be heard. Because being right means that what we did was right. Being heard means you're listening to me. Personally, I don't care if you think I'm right. If I know I'm right, I'm acting on that anyway. That's what my moral judgments, my ethical judgments, and hopefully my legal underpinning is based upon. If you're just entering into something because you're angry, aggrieved, if you're willing to stand by that, I applaud you because you got the courage of your convictions. But that conviction could end up being literally a conviction. Take a pause, take a moment. You'll hear me say it over and over and over again until you're sick of my English accent coming through the screen at you. Good. Because if you can just hear me saying, take a pause, take a pause, take a pause, take a pause before you do anything, my work here is done, whether you like me or not. Thanks as always for joining us this week, guys. And a big announcement coming up soon. Launching soon, we have Reality Check, the video training course. These are the insights that I will offer you. The training courses, the modules, and all the pieces that were put together to enable me to be in a situation where I can offer my insights and my opinions. Many people have asked if they can train with me, and it's not possible if we go all the way around the world as frequently as I'd like. It is, however, possible for me to be right on your laptops or on your DVDs, seeing and showing you what I think will be beneficial for you in your life, your martial arts career, and helping you live a healthy, happy existence. Take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll see you next time.
What's up, guys? We are filming our next digital seminar with Jay Cooper. It's called Reality Check. Jay, tell us a little bit about what Reality Check is.
A lot of you have asked me about training and where you can learn more about how we stay in the moment, we keep that ego in check, and we make sure that we take a pause so our responses are the correct ones. That's what this course is going to deliver to you. It's not going to teach you how to punch and kick. It's not going to teach you a martial art. Hell, it's not even going to give you scenarios. What it's going to enable you to do is realize who you are, who the enemy is, and make those responses and reactions the correct ones at the time so you don't end up suffering afterwards. There's no point in winning a battle and losing the war, and that's the central theme.
And we are loving this because we've been putting out these videos on Facebook, and let's just say that Facebook, YouTube don't necessarily like the content. It's a bit too graphic. So we are looking forward to bringing you a high quality course with that too hot for TV information.